Williamsport continues in the Northwest region. The team from Washington is on a roll. But the boys from Oregon have their sights set on moving forward. Little League Baseball, it's coming up next. Welcome to San Bernardino, California, Al Houghton Stadium for this Northwest Region elimination game. Seattle, Washington, and Beaverton, Oregon squaring off. Hi everybody, I'm Trey Bender alongside Greg Olson. Glad you're with us. Two teams that found their offense after suffering defeats in day one here at the ballpark.
Well, late last night, Washington scores 11, has a very balanced attack led by Gunnar Gustafson and Alex Ingalls.
Well, and they're hoping the middle part of the order does it again for this West Seattle Little League group, but it's an Oregon squad that likes their chances as well. This is a Washington team that had 3 home runs in their victory.
Matthew Henning with a 2-run blast leading off the barrage in the first inning. See Matthew Hazelgrove with a double in the gap, scores another 2. Very balanced attack by Washington.
5th inning, Daly going deep.
Jake Daly with a home run to center field, scoring 2, and now the blast was on.
Buring with a home run as well, and this is an Oregon team that was down early to Wyoming, but they battled back.
They had an 8-run, Wyoming scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Seen a little bit, some errors, walks, big inning for Wyoming. It was looking like Oregon was on its last leg, and then the boys scored 11 runs in the top of the 4th to answer the bell.
Amazing counter as they just ran the bases well and had timely hitting throughout, and they're hoping that provides them some momentum.
They sent 15 to the plate in the 4th inning.
So Beaverton, Oregon, and West Seattle Little League ready to square off with the season on the line. Northwest Region play. First pitch comes up next. Washington and Oregon, Northwest Region elimination game. Al Houghton Stadium in San Bernardino, the site, first of 2 today. Following this one, we'll have a West Region matchup between Southern California and Northern California. Pacific Northwest team squaring off here in our first game as we look at the Washington batting order. They had 3 home runs, and Buring had 1 of those, and he's in the leadoff spot in the order. 14 kids have played with and against each other for 7 years in this Washington lineup. And the West Seattle Little Leaguers provided power last night, and they're hoping that pays off here against Zane Garvey, a 12-year-old big Cubs fan, and he was the winning pitcher in their championship game en route to the Oregon State title.
Well, he pitched on Sunday for Oregon, threw fairly well, and good solid mechanics. Probably coming out, got rid of those nerves on Sunday.
Both these teams have played 2 games. Both of them had the day 1 losses, but both have bounced back in impressive fashion. You see Simpson in center field. He is a guy that can really run. They've batted him leadoff throughout the year, and they've moved him down in the lineup a little bit. Gustafson, the leader, the captain at shortstop.
Well, we've seen some really good shortstop play in San Bernardino this week, and Gunnar Gustafson is right in that line.
First pitch to Tristan Buring, misses for ball 1. Jason Field is our home plate umpire. Jeffrey Davis, Chris Watkins, Gary Appleberry first, second, and third. 12-year-old Tristan Buring, who put a charge into one and hit it over the fence last night.
Had a fastball in last night. Got the bat head out, drove it out to right field. Probably looking to do a little bit of the same thing, get the same thing started tonight.
He had 11 hits in the win against Alaska. And you'd like to keep that momentum rolling with something big in the first inning.
That's exactly what they did last night. Scored 5 in the first, batted through the lineup. What a way to start a game. Zane Garvey's just missing. There's been a couple calls. They've been really close. Hasn't got the benefit of the doubt yet. Really does not want to walk leadoff hitter Buring.
Buring goes opposite field with it down the left field line, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Buring rounding second. He wants a triple. Hesitated for a moment. The throw is offline, and he has the triple. Now he's going to break for home. Safe at home plate.
Well, we talked about him thinking about going deep to start the game. Isn't exactly what he was envisioning, but he gets a 3-1 fastball away, down and away, drives it to left field. Elam Young recognizes the ball's a little bit over his head, gets back, does a nice job of getting the ball cleaned up in the corner. Good relay to Gunnar Gustafson, and then Gunnar Gustafson came and just the throw was just a little offline for third baseman Alex Ingalls. Ball got through. Catcher Kellen Wood. And Tristan Buring just kept running.
Triple and an error and a 1-0 lead for Washington. Here's Miles Gastola. How about that for picking up from that momentum from last night?
Like I said, he went deep last night in about the 5th or 6th inning. And, that's got to be fresh in his mind, but I'm sure he wasn't envisioning a pseudo inside the park home run.
And we've seen some hitters do a nice job of taking it to the opposite field. That was a left-handed hitter dropping it into the left field corner.
It was really a nice piece of hitting.
Pitch is on the inside corner to Gastola. The opposing pitcher in this one. Go Gadget. you and I were thinking the same thing.
Thinking the exact same thing. Go Gadget. Tall, lanky, long arms, really nice swing. Got a couple hits last night.
Favorite song is Ice Ice Baby, and loves steak, which you and I would agree with in terms of a food choice. I'm speaking for you, but I'm assuming that's probably correct.
Well, yeah, it's a safe assumption, yes. Steak.
There's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. Neely throws out Gastola. 1 down.
Miles Gastola a little mad at himself. He got a good pitch to hit. Hit it hard, just drove it into the ground. Christian Neely's been solid this tournament at second base. And here comes the man of the hour from last night, Matthew Henning. Pitched 4 innings, hit a 2-run home run in the first. And he combined with Parker Ely and Robbie Foisey to throw a one-hitter.
Yeah, this kid has the flair for the dramatic. He had a walk-off home run in district play. Hits that one in the air down the right field line and tailing, and it drops foul.
Christian Neely ran a long ways to try to, he got close. The ball hung up a little bit in this wind. We got a wind blowing out to left field. That ball hung up a little bit. It was just in no man's land.
It's a pretty steady wind, maybe as steady as we've seen this week. Ground ball hit to third. What a play there by Ingles, who gloves it and throws, not in time. Ball gets away, and staying put at first base is Henning. And how about Ingles over there channeling a little Greg Nettles with his move at third base.
I thought you were going to pull up Brooks Robinson. But Alex Ingles, here's the pitch. Breaking ball up in the zone. Alex Ingles dives to his left. Snags it, just struggles to get up quickly enough. And the throw wasn't in time. It got past Carson Reed at first base, but no damage.
Caden Fay will fly out to center field. 2 down. Washington aggressive early in the count here. Here's Robert Trigg. Bobby Trigg.
This is my favorite new superstition. Avoids washing cleats. I didn't know that fell into the category of superstition. I just, you know, you can go a couple ways with it. I just, like, they're going to get dirty in an hour anyway. Why am I going to clean them up?
You don't want any, you know, rocks in there or anything that would keep you from losing your footing.
Never even considered that thought, Trey. Thank you.
You can always kick those out of there without washing them, I guess.
You don't need to. I mean, you can empty out the rocks, but you're not getting any rocks here on this infield. This is a beautiful facility.
Oh, and what a play in foul ground made by Hicks near the seats over there. He brings it in, and just one run across. Half inning in the books. Washington leads it 1-0. Big triple by Buring. He scores on the air. We're underway. Northwest Regional Elimination Game, Washington in front of Oregon, 1-0. Bottom half of the first inning, season on the line for these two, and a chance to look at the Beaverton Murray Hill Little League team, 1-1 in this regional. And they've made a switch with their lineup. You see Elam Young and Aaron Simpson switching spots in the order. Both can really run, and sometimes you make a move like that and mix it up, and it can help your offense.
No, and not that they needed help coming off of yesterday's win, but, you know, Elam Young moving up from the 5th spot. Gunnar Gustafson and Alex Ingles have been just the mainstays for this lineup.
See Garvey, the pitcher, batting down there in the 7th spot in the order, and they're going to be facing Go-Go Gadget, Miles Gostula. Big 5'8" frame and a left-hander.
Yeah, we saw him for a little bit on Sunday morning. Throws well, he's got nice mechanics, good-looking left-handed pitcher. I'm excited to see how, he struggled a little bit on Sunday. I'm excited to see how he rebounds.
He's also a basketball player with that big frame. Defensively, these guys have shown great versatility playing different positions. Foisey has come in and pitched. He's the center fielder.
Sherrick and Glover both been really solid in the middle. And Matthew Hazelgrove starting his 3rd game of catching.
We've got Fay at first base. That's the manager's son, Mike Fay, the manager of this Washington outfit. And we are ready to go here, bottom of the 1st. Elam Young, lefty against lefty to open things up in the bottom of the 1st.
Well, that kind of makes that move a little bit more interesting for me. Aaron Simpson moves down to the 5th spot, and we have a lefty-lefty matchup. And I've spoken about it, but this is such a beautiful facility. All the kids are staying here on campus. It's out in right field, out behind the right field wall. All the kids are staying in cabins out there. So you know that these coaches have watched each other over the last couple games. They have a pretty good idea that Gostel is going to come back and start, so the lefty-lefty matchup to start is a little bit interesting.
So look at the view down the right field line, snack shot behind. It's been talked about a little bit here. Here's a 3-1, foul back.
Well, we spent a lot more time talking about the funnel cakes out in right field. You got a swimming pool the kids have access to. It's just a wonderful facility.
A little cloud cover today, a little bit of wind as well. It's been hot throughout the week at Al Houghton Stadium. 3-2 pitch, fouled off. Good rip that time by number 0.
See a fastball equivalent of 91 miles an hour. 5'8", Miles Gostola is pitching from 44 feet. So that ball is coming in firm. Great at bat by Elam Young.
Young's on, leadoff walk.
Well, we've already seen a couple different ways to get on base and start your team going from the leadoff hitter.
Now Kellen Wood, the catcher, big Buster Posey fan, speaking of catchers. Fouls off the first offering. He also plays football and basketball. Had the winning pitch. State tournament closed it out as their pitcher.
Scored three runs already this tournament in 2 games. Been a big catalyst in the 2-hole.
Costola paints the corner with that one.
70 miles an hour. We've seen a couple pitches here in San Bernardino that have touched 75, but 70 is in the upper tier of fastballs we've seen here. Got a good live arm, good frame.
Elam Young gets rid of his batting gloves. He's going without them now at first base as the runner.
Well, you don't want to get them dirty when you're sliding into second base, Trey. You know, it's just taking care of your gear.
Challenging a throw from Hazelgrove, and he doesn't venture too far from the bag. Young has great speed, we talked about it. They're going to try to generate something after Buring got Washington on the board.
A lot of pitches already to start from Miles Gostola. He threw somewhere in the 40 pitch range on day 1.
Chopper, Sherrick has it, flips it, got him. What a play. Little shuttle from the second baseman to the shortstop. Glover, one down.
You can see Elam Young was standing at second base for a little while, hoping to get a review. He thought he was in there. I'm going to disagree with him. I think this would be a good idea not to review it. High chop. Joe Sherrick, I mean, does everything perfectly. Comes up, gets the ball on a medium hop, and quickly does a short flip to Wyatt Glover.
We have seen that little option pitch, if you will, using a football term, delivered pretty effectively by several players here at the regional.
Well, that's the play of choice for a second baseman. He can't turn his body completely and toss it underhand. He's way too close to throw a normal ball overhand. So then the third option for him is the option pitch, a la Tommy Frazier. Me being a Nebraska guy.
Yeah, I figured you'd go down that route. Could have gone Jamel Holloway, Oklahoma. Here's the 1-0 to Gustafson, foul back.
Why? Why would you throw up a heated rivalry with Oklahoma on me right now?
Just trying to get under the skin of a guy from the state of Nebraska.
Oh my, you've been trying to do that this whole week, trying to get me to fight with you.
Gunnar Gustafson swinging a hot bat, looks at a strike, 1-2.
That was a really nice fastball, 72 miles an hour. You know what, having been in these shoes, no matter how many games you played, you're still on the mound by yourself. You got some nerves. These kids are 12, 13 years old, you know, and it's figuring out a way to get over the nerves, use the energy, the nervous energy in the correct way. And Miles Gostola gets that first out and you kind of get the edge off. You know, it just takes one out. No matter what's going on, you get that out and you settle in.
2-2, and they're going to check with Jeffrey Davis, the first base umpire, that says he did not offer on it. Gustafson, a leader, really makes the younger kids better with his leadership at the shortstop position. Lines it down the right field line, and a foul ball. That was close. Just missed the chalk.
That was a good fastball. Up a little bit, elevated. And we talked about Gunnar Gustafson in the open. He's been swinging a real hot bat, had 4 RBIs last night. And both these teams are, you know, coming off good wins, scored a lot of runs. Everybody got involved. I'm going to call them, they feel hitterish.
Check swing there, and that's a strikeout. Gustafson set down.
Home plate umpire Jason Field called it himself, recognized that the swing crossed in front of home plate, got it out there a little bit. It was close. Your first base umpire, Trey, you calling that one?
Well, if I'm Jeffrey Davis, I think he did offer on it. That's a pitch that's a little high. And down to second base, safely as Wood. Got to be opportunistic. Look for opportunities to get to second. And now you got a chance to tie this one up.
Matthew Hazelgrove's going to go out and discuss with Miles Gostola what pitch we're going to call. And then you're also going to go through and probably tell him what sign. He'll probably go through a number of signs. We'll probably see, you know, generally when I have runners on second base, you know, the catcher puts down 5 signs. And he went out and walked out to Miles Gostola and probably said, hey, second sign.
Big cut from Ingles. Favorite book, Where the Red Fern Grows. That's a classic.
Oh, that's a great book.
Lace to left, and it's caught. Hauled in by Henning to end the inning. A walk, a runner stranded, nothing across, and we're through 1 inning in this Northwest Regional Elimination game. West Seattle Little Leaguers in front of Beaverton, Oregon, 1-0. Washington in front of Oregon with the season on the line, top of the second inning in the Northwest Regional. Focused on fun, fitness, and fundamentals, the Little League journey starts with T-ball. Visit littleleague.org/T-ball for our free 10-week practice plan to keep the youngest Little Leaguers moving, having fun, and learning the games of baseball and softball. Yeah, pretty good start for Washington. They get a triple from Tristan Buring. He scores on an error, and now they'll try to add to their advantage after Gastola pitched well in the bottom half of the first inning.
Well, Robbie Foisey comes up, and he is batting .500 in San Bernardino, 1 for 2. So he's been swinging it well, found a walk as well. So he's been on base a couple times, scored a couple times.
Zane Garvey with the first pitch, and Foisey swings and misses. His favorite subject in school is science. Hi, Mr. Shrek. Right next to it.
That's great.
Gotta prop up those teachers. It's fantastic.
A little shout out to a science teacher.
Mr. Shrek must be doing it the right way there.
Yep, you gotta love that. Great influences on these young men.
Oh, what a beauty that was. That fooled Foisey, froze him, one down.
Zane Garvey had not shown a curveball up until that point. And here's a big 12-6, a lot of break and depth. And Robbie Foisey was up there, and he was completely surprised by the pitch.
And Wyatt Glover, Ingalls, the third baseman, up on that grass. Playing in. Well in. Now we move back a little bit. Get him.
Taking the bunt away. After that swing, I'd be surprised if he doesn't move back a little bit. All right, this is a new superstition for me as well.
One blade of grass is all it takes.
That's all it takes. And I'm going to assume it probably got started when he's out in the outfield and he goes sliding in. Picks up some grass, he gets in the back pocket. He has a great game at the plate. Realizes he's got some grass in there, and he goes, you know what? I need to do that again.
Well, you kind of become a lawn manicure type person out there in the outfield anyway, don't you? I mean, you're checking out all the divots and things out there that could affect you, get in your way. So
yeah,
that would be a natural thing, I would think. Grass becomes part of the ball game.
Yeah, you have 15 or 20 seconds between pitches, and you look around. I know you definitely do that in the infield where you clean up the dirt in front of you, find a pebble or two, toss them out in the outfield, let your outfielder deal with the pebbles.
Look at Young out there in left. Here's a 3-2. That's a ground ball pulled to the shortstop, and Gustafson's throw is there in time, 2 down.
Alex Ingalls, the third baseman, ranges a long way, realizes he wasn't going to get to it. And Gunnar Gustafson, smooth, clean, gets it out quick, throws a strike over to first base.
Yeah, we've seen some rangy shortstops with some good arms in this regional. Now Matthew Hazelgrove.
We've got a lot of math and science guys here in San Bernardino.
That speaks well to the future, right? There's a drive into center. And backing up is Simpson, and he has it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Good job from Zane Garvey protecting that 1-0 advantage. And they like it, the Beaverton fans. 1-0. Bottom of the second coming up. Northwest Regional play here in San Bernardino, Washington, in front of Oregon. 1-0 bottom of the second. Each of these teams 1-1, trying to keep their season going. And each coming off impressive offensive performances in game 2 after losing day 1. We're going to have the West Regional coming up tonight following this Northwest Regional game. It'll be Southern California and Northern California, a much anticipated matchup. The people here in San Bernardino, and Castola, the left-hander, good first inning. He did walk Young, the leadoff guy, but settled down after that. And now he'll get Aaron Ray Simpson, who is their normal leadoff guy. We talked about they're hitting him in the 5-hole in this matchup. And he's taking all the way, strike 1.
Yeah, very speedy center fielder. Miles Castola has thrown well so far. Got over the edge of the leadoff walk last inning. It's been pretty consistent from 69 to 71.
Hit down the right field line. He goes opposite field with it, and it's up against the wall. Simpson showcasing the speed, makes the turn, on his way to third. In there with a triple. Ball gets away. Here comes Simpson, and he'll score standing up.
Aaron Ray Simpson. I didn't think he got out of the box very well when he hit it. I don't know if he saw where it went, but he was slow getting out of the box. Gets a fastball down. You can see he kind of paused. He didn't know it didn't feel that great, and you pause for a second, don't see it off the bat. You can see he stood there, and man, once he got started, he didn't even slow down around second base. The ball was coming in from right field, and I thought we were gonna have a bang play at third base. How about two
triple errors?
Triple errors, yeah.
Triple and then an error, scoring each run, and a little excitement here. There aren't many plays more exciting than the triple, and we've seen the speed from Buehring and Simpson.
Yeah, they've been they're called triples, but he's walking in the dugout right now, going, "Hey man, inside the park, home run."
It's as good as that. It's not on the score sheet, and we're tied at 1 here. Here's Christian Neely. No, Ryan Boggs is going to hit for Neely. So they use a pinch hitter here. Rhino comes in. They go early to the pinch hitting move in the second inning.
Yeah, that's pretty early. Little League Baseball does such a great job of making sure that everybody gets playing time. And so the substitution rules here in Little League is if you have a 12-man roster, so 3 substitutes, the 3 substitutes have to play 6 consecutive outs in the field, and they get 1 at bat. If you have more than 12, and we have a 13-man roster for Oregon, the 4 substitutes only have to get an at bat. And so we've seen some managers here in San Bernardino, if it's been a long first inning, they get one of their substitutes in the first inning. It's only happened a couple times, but now we're seeing Boggs in the second.
2-2 now, and you don't want to tempt things and try to save those pinch hitters late, because you get in a situation where maybe there's a run rule game, or you'd like to be able to use those guys early. Normally it's in the 3rd inning, sometimes earlier.
Well, Boggs is coming off the bench hitting 133. He's 1 for 3, and he's found his way on base by getting hit twice in this tournament.
He had a walk-off 2-run shot in the state tournament in Oregon.
That was a really good take. I'm not sure how he laid off of it. 73-mile-an-hour fastball. The major league equivalent from 60 feet is 95.
3-2 fastball is low and inside, and Boggs is on board.
Well, tip of my cap to manager Mazza for that play right there. Boggs had a great at bat, spent some pitches. Finds his way on again for the 4th time in San Bernardino.
Augusto Mazza has coached 3 sons from T-ball all the way through majors. See a lot of baseball.
You got to tip your cap to these volunteer coaches, umpires. You know, these coaches spend an enormous amount of time volunteering out here with these kids, making them better, you know, mentoring. And I just got to tip my cap. Especially starting from T-ball with 3 of them. T-ball's,
yeah.
It's been a little while. I did T-ball once, and it was about all I could handle. It was.
You didn't lose a game though, did you?
Yeah, no, we lost. Yeah, you're the only.
We never lost.
You are the only undefeated T-ball manager in this booth.
We have Christian Neely now pinch running for Boggs, with nobody out. And Alex Stinson now pinch hitting in Garvey's spot in the order.
Stinson's been on base, has an RBI this tournament. Coach Mazza getting his substitutes involved early.
Gastola rears back and fires a strike, throw down to first, not in time.
I think Christian Neely kept that one from going out in right field. No, don't rub it. That stings. Hazelgrove's got a good arm. Gets a fastball away, a little bit on the down zone, and he had it in his mind that he thought Christian Neely was being a little bit too aggressive, getting into a secondary lead off the base. Does a snap throw, and Neely ends up getting the throw in the shoulder.
Three and one now to Stinson, who also is a snowboarder, along with playing baseball. Ball 4, he's on. So a triple, an error, 2 walks already in this inning.
And I think that triple with the air rattled Gastola a little bit. He's been close, he's just missing. Needs to lock it in right here, get ahead early, try to throw a strike. Carson Rigg coming to the plate. I think we might have a move. Coach Mike Fay coming out. Little League Baseball is different than high school baseball, Major League Baseball. Coaches are allowed 3 trips to the mound in an inning. Major League Baseball, high school, etc. is only allowed 2, and on the second trip, you have to take the pitcher out of the game. In Little League Baseball, you get 3 trips. The 3rd trip, you have to take the pitcher out of the game. So we're seeing 2 early trips here. Try to settle your pitcher down, and we are going to make a move. Trey.
So a 1-1 game, bottom of the second. Gastola giving up a triple and a couple walks, and they'll make a switch here. And it's going to be Fay getting the call. And we'll be back with the new pitcher here in the second inning. 1-1, Washington, Oregon in San Bernardino. Caden Fay, the new pitcher for the West Seattle Little Leaguers, the son of the manager, Mike Fay. He will get the call here, big Mariners fan. And he likes Tom Cruise and that new film Mission Impossible Fallout. And he's hoping to avoid a trap here in this game with a 1-1 score and runners at first and second, nobody out. And Carson Reeg at the plate. Estola now playing first base.
Well, that was a straight up swap, as you said. We've seen Caden Fay once on the mound, I believe on Sunday.
It's bounced up there, and the runners are going to move up a base. Boggs to third, Stinson to second. Actually, Neely now at third, Stinson at second, and now you've got nobody out and a chance to come up with a big inning.
Caden Fay got ahead, and then he tried to throw a curveball, a 12-6 curveball, big break, but it was just short of the plate, and it came up high on Hazelgrove, the catcher, and it just got away from him. All right, Trey, undefeated T-ball manager. You bringing the infield in?
I think I am. There at the corners, they're not up on the grass. They're playing at medium depth, I guess, right now. Now you back them up.
Yeah, the third baseman's in the baseline. Shortstop's playing a little bit shallow. And you can see second base is in normal, first base is at normal position. They're conceding the run. So Carson Reeg hits a ground ball anywhere in the middle or first base that should score the run.
They're trying to avoid the big inning here. Off-speed pitch, bounces away from Hazelgrove. He can't locate it. Neely scores at the plate. Sliding safely is Garvey. And what a tough turn of events there, as Hazelgrove could not locate it behind the plate.
Garvey scores from second on this wild pitch. And it was the same pitch as in the 0-1 count. It's a big curveball. Now watch how this bounces. And the first one bounced up on Hazelgrove. And that one he thought was going to bounce up. It stayed down, got between his legs, and then he just flat had no idea where it was. Doesn't see it. Looked like the home plate umpire blocked him from seeing where the ball rolled away to. Great hustle by Fay to get in there and try to make the play, but Stinson was just too fast from second base.
Neely and Stinson across 3-1. Oregon in front, bottom of the second. Chanting Murray Hill. Cheering for the Little Leaguers from Beaverton, and Reeg is on. Still nobody out.
Fastball a little bit elevated. Reeg takes a walk. That's 3 straight walks. And, you know, if you get to the point where you're scoring runs, and they already had a triple in this inning, but if you're able to score runs without having to hit the ball, it's a big advantage.
Now Kellen Hicks, strike one.
That wasn't the master of the obvious statement, was it?
Well, you know, it's that has been what has hurt them here. That's 4 walks total. They weren't hurt by Young, the leadoff walk in the first inning.
Kellen Hicks is a fan of Stranger Things.
Science fiction
Yep.
thing that a lot of kids are raving about. Here's the 1-1.
Yeah, I binge watched that last year, I admit it. Got them all, blew out 24 straight hours of Stranger Things.
I got to admit, too, I saw it as well. So I'm right with you.
Well, you were just waiting for me to open up.
I
And
just want to make sure that, I want to see if you stated it correctly, what it was and why you watched it. But you didn't delve too much deeper into that. Here's a 1-2.
Fay's just struggling with the command on that curveball. It's a big break, and he's just burying it in front of home plate. It's a tough pitch to find, Trey. It's the only pitch in baseball that you throw where your 2 fingers, the middle and the index, are actually on the front of the baseball. So you're creating a top spin and your fingers end up rolling to the front of the baseball, so the only finger or digit is the thumb that ends up being behind the ball at release.
That's 4 consecutive walks, 2 given up by Gastola, and now 2 given up by Fay, and now it's the top of the order. And this inning could be a huge inning for Oregon. 3 across already, nobody out, and it's Elam Young.
This is what Oregon needed yesterday. Wyoming jumped out to a 10-2 lead with an 8-run bottom of the 3rd inning. Oregon's on the ropes. They come out and they're doing the exact same thing, taking advantage of control issues, so they're walking. They got a couple hit by pitches. They had big hits, and they scored 11 runs to take the lead yesterday against Wyoming.
They sent 15 to the plate in that inning. This is the 6th hitter in the inning. Here's a bouncing ball to Sherrick, flips to the shortstop for 1, no relay throw, but they get the first out, and now runners on the corners.
Tried to turn it. Elam Young's busting it up the line, and I love the fact that Wyatt Glover gets the relay from Sherrick, recognizes the fact that he's got no play at first base, quickly spins to try to get a too aggressive Carson Reig at third base, and Reig, great base running, stays close.
Kellen Wood, fielder's choice first time up, and there's a throw, and not throwing to the bag is the pitcher Fay, and Young is now at second base.
Well, that's a first and third play, so we've seen some teams that are aggressive on the bases. That one, Elam Young has the base runner here at Little League has to wait until the ball crosses home plate before he can run.
And Wood puts a charge into it, but right at Foisey, and he delivers a strike back to the pitcher, 2 down.
But back to the first and third, Elam Young takes off on the steal, and there's 4 defenses that I know of to defend the first and third plate, and one of them is to fire the ball quickly back to the pitcher. He relayed it, and he just relayed it to the wrong guy. Wyatt Glover was covering, Sherrick was back.
Gunnar Gustafson, a couple runners out there he's hoping to bring in with his team up by 2. He struck out his first time up. That bounces in front of the plate, heads back to the backstop, and here comes the 4th run. Reig will come in and score, 4-1.
Matthew Hazelgrove. He had really no shot at blocking this ball. It was a fastball down out of the zone, and fastballs are almost impossible to block, you know, outside of the major league level.
Young is now at third, and the count 2-0 to Gunnar Gustafson. And it's off the second baseman's glove, Sherrick, and into right field. Young scores, going for second. Gustafson, they got him. Another run across, though, as Young comes in, and Oregon adds to their advantage through 2 innings. Oregon 5, Washington 1. A triple getting the scoring started. And Oregon leads 5-1. Northwest Regional Elimination Game. Washington and Oregon, and the Beaverton Murray Hill Little Leaguers have a 5-1 lead as they put a 5 spot on the board in the second inning. And we're joined now by a guy that is a relief pitcher like my broadcast partner here, Chad Zerbe, former Giant, played in the World Series, National League champs. I know it's always special for you to come back and see these kids. You and Greg both grew up around Little League. What goes through your mind when you see these kids out here?
This is a really cool experience. I myself never got to do anything like this when I played the league, so when I come out here and see this, I just think how lucky these kids are that they got to make it to something like this that I never got to. So this is a really cool experience for all those kids out there on the field.
Well, Trey and I have been having some fun with our guests, and I'm going to ask you, what was the name of your Little League team?
Citrus Park A's.
Everybody remembers their Little League
That
team.
was my 10 through 12 years, and then I was the Dodgers after that.
Very cool.
Yeah, for the 13 through 15-year-old age group.
And then you go to the Giants, so now that memory with the Dodgers is like, oh, no.
And then my first team that drafted me was the Dodgers.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, so kind of funny.
Very cool.
Yeah.
They saw you're the winning pitcher in Game 5 of the O2 series. Talk about that experience and realizing your dreams and getting that great moment.
Well, I can tell you when I ran onto the field, just getting the call to run onto the field, I was kind of like, okay, Dusty wants me to go in. Awesome. So I went out there, and I remember running out to the field in Game 2 thinking, I'm about to pitch in the World Series. I'm about to pitch in the World Series. That kept going through my head, and then I got out there, and I was just rubber. Like the nerves and the adrenaline, it was all going through me. And I was nervous, like really nervous for 5 outs. So I came in with 2 outs, finished that, went out there the next inning for 3 outs, finished those. The next inning I came out, which was the 3rd inning, I finally had calmed down, and then it was just another baseball game after that. As weird as that sounds, but it was just another baseball game after that.
No, it's really hard to explain, but the rush of being out there, World Series, your heart's racing, your hair's on fire, you're trying to throw 1,000 miles an hour. And I've been around enough, kids coaching Little League, you can tell when they're nervous. And I like to try to explain to them going, it's great to be nervous. It means you're getting ready for a game, and you just talked about that. Were you nervous every time you came into a game?
Every time I pitched, I had nerves, and something my dad told me, nerves are good. You shouldn't be so nervous that it affects what you're doing, but nerves are good because it keeps you playing at the edge, and it means you care. So I tell kids, I'm still heavily involved in baseball out here. I tell kids all the time, it's okay to be nervous. Nerves are a good thing. Just don't let the nerves take over what you're doing. Control that. And that's what kids have to learn how to do, is control the nerves within the moment that they're out on the field.
Versatility. We've asked a lot of former players who've been up here about being able to play multiple positions. I'm sure that would be a point you would try to stress with these kids as well. Play as many as you can.
Absolutely. I have a travel ball organization out here with now a 12 and a 13U. And the kids that I have, I develop the kids to not just be pigeonholed in one position in the infield. I want athletes on the team. Every kid on my team can pitch and throw strikes, and I can switch kids from the infield to the outfield and vice versa. So that's only going to prepare them for the next level, which is kind of what my mission statement is, to get the kids ready for the next level of baseball, which is high school.
Perfectly said. So did you play any other sports in high school?
I started in basketball, talked to my dad about playing football. His suggestion was, do you think you'll go anywhere for football? Or do you think you actually have a chance to do something in baseball? I said, well, if I had a chance to do anything, it'd be baseball. He goes, do you want to ruin that by taking a hit on your left side? I said, good point, Dad. I'll stick with baseball. So baseball was my
Worked
thing.
out. Good move.
Good advice.
Dad sounds like a wise man.
Tristan Buring now batting after Sherrick strikes out. And these kids have really, the teamwork aspect of it, team before individual. We've seen some great sportsmanship out there. And those little things add up as Buring hits it up the middle. And Gustafson, a good arm. The shortstop play has been fantastic here.
Overall, watching these kids come out here and play and performing under these conditions is pretty impressive, because I can only imagine myself at 12 years old having to play on a stage like this at that age. I was nervous at 28 or 32 or whatever age I was in the World Series. I can't imagine being here in this and being able to control myself in some aspect to make a play or to throw a strike or you know, in this setting.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, you know, that's one of the hardest things to do is to just get over that edginess, the nervousness. And we've seen some pitchers struggle, you know, one hitter, maybe two, but then as soon as they get that first out, it's like, oh, hey, this is just a game. You know, and like you said, let's, you know, relax. And they start getting back into the groove.
I agree. When I was in the minor leagues, I started. When I got to the big leagues, I got put in the bullpen. And I remember it was something that was, every time I started, when I threw that first pitch, I wanted to throw the strike.
Oh, what a play by Simpson, moving to his right and snaring it.
That was an amazing catch. That's I mean, I don't know, done right there.
Exactly.
I think you might see that one later on.
Wow, what a great play. This ball is blistered to center field. Aaron Simpson laying out. It does not get any better than that.
That was impressive. Full extension in the air, catching the ball.
And he's like, I'm on Sports Center tonight.
Nice catch, kid.
Top 10 nominee right there. Simpson flashing some leather. Chad Zerbe, thanks for coming up here.
My pleasure.
Spend some time with us.
Good talking with you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Chad.
Oregon leading Washington 5-1, and the Northwest Regional continues. It's an elimination game. Good defense being played so far at Al Houghton Stadium. Oregon leading Washington 5-1 in this Northwest Regional elimination game. We've seen some stellar defensive play throughout this regional. The center fielder, Aaron Ray Simpson, with a Sports Center top 10 nominee right there.
Oh, that's just an amazing play. I don't care how old you are, what league you're playing in, that is as good as it gets.
Love the smile afterwards. He knew it. Full extension.
Oh, we got an error on the fan right there. Just didn't get under it, Trey. You know, he just didn't track it.
You know, nothing's going to compare to what we saw from Simpson. That was sensational, as that ball easily is an extra base hit, and who knows, maybe inside the park home run if he doesn't catch up with it.
Well, he's out there no man's land in center field. So that ball, you know, he's out playing deep. Just an amazing catch.
Alex Ingalls leading off the inning for Oregon. 5 runs scored in the second inning. Ingalls lined out to the left fielder his first time up. He's busy. 4-sport kid. And he lunges for that one and drops it into center field. Good piece of hitting as he goes low to get it.
That is his 4th hit in San Bernardino. Puts him at 4 for 8. My math skills take me to 500 average. Went down out of the zone. And that ball looked like it checked up a little bit. Out in center field, looked like your L wedge.
Yeah, you haven't seen my L wedge. Here's Simpson now, and you mentioned this several times. The funny thing about the sport of baseball, you know, you make a big defensive play, and it seems like you're always coming up to bat quickly afterwards, or vice versa. The spotlight is on you.
It's a bizarre happening, but it's just almost guaranteed. You make a great play in the field, you come up the next inning. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. You know.
Alex Stinson's going to pinch run for Ingalls at first base. And I don't know how Simpson could possibly top what we just saw defensively, but he's got a chance here with a bat.
Well, his first at bat was pretty good.
Yeah, triple and scored on an error. And he hits it hard to the second baseman, Sherrick. Flips to second for one, on to first. They get the double play, 4-6-3. Sherrick to Glover to Gostola.
He thinks he was safe, so he's going to stay there. What a great turn. We talked about the middle of the infield for Seattle and how good they've been this tournament. Sherrick ranges to his right, a hard ground ball, ranges to his right, turns, good throw. Wyatt Glover coming hard across the bag. I think he got him. I don't know. What do you think, Trey?
Well, the call is that he's out. And Jason Field, Jeffrey Davis, Chris Watkins, and Gary Appleby over there. Davis, the guy making the call, as the first base umpire.
So this is the fun part for me, watching these kids coming in from the infield, and who knows what they're talking about. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's probably a little Fortnite conversation. Your third baseman could be snoring last night. Here's the play again. Simpson running hard. This was a quick turn. Wow. Looked like that heel almost got in there.
Good stretch by Gostola. This could go either way. This is as close a call as we have seen at first base.
Yeah, I'm going to say the call stands. It's just too close to call.
Yeah, you stick with the original call if you don't have enough to. Oh, they're gonna overturn it. So they give the tie to the runner here. So it's the 4-6 force out, but Simpson's on.
And I'm wrong again, Trey. I think I'm 1 for 8 in San Bernardino on reviews. You can see that the heel of Simpson just does get down.
Boy, the Murray Hill Little League fans, they are active down here, making a lot of noise in front of us. We've already had a 5-run inning, and that could be one of those plays that generates another big inning.
We'll get something started. Christian Neely comes up to the plate.
First pitch fouls it off.
It's 1 for 2 with an RBI in San Bernardino this trip.
Neely, a Jose Altuve fan. And he's a fan of chicken Alfredo as we are past the lunch hour, but dinner's coming down the pike here.
See Hazel Grove with an attempted back pick down at first base. Seattle boys well versed. Gostola rushes over there right when the pitch is thrown, and Simpson wasn't getting too far off the base.
Faye's pitch is lifted into center field. Foisey coming in. He makes the catch. A couple big plays by the center fielders in this one as Foisey had to extend to go and get it.
Another center fielder with a great play. Neely gets this one off the end of the bat. Here comes Foisey, diving head first, secures the catch. He's been solid out in center field.
He's made a couple big plays out there in this regional. Here's Zane Garvey. Dramatic, highlight type plays.
Garvey gets his first at bat of the day. He's done a nice job on the mound.
Throw down second. Safe at second base is Simpson. Showing off that speed. We saw it already after legging out a triple.
Well, these catchers have been so good, and they have such good arms here in San Bernardino that I think that might be our first true stolen base outside of the first and third play.
Yes, Simpson can really put on the afterburners. 0-2 to Garvey.
Just missed with the fastball down. Fay has started to find his feel for his breaking ball. Let's see if we see it again.
Bounces away from Hazelgrove. Simpson breaks for third. The throw is close. Safe at third base. Third baseman Trigg thought he had him.
Great read by Aaron Simpson. Sees the ball in the dirt. Good break. Ball came up a little bit on Hazelgrove, so it bounced off his body to his left, and he did a great job. Hazelgrove did a great job just to make this a bang-bang play.
Hazelgrove bounces away from him, and at the plate, a close play, and safe is Simpson, and Hazelgrove shaken up. What a great effort to get there, and number 42, let's hope he's okay. Simpson scoring to make it 6-1, and now looking at Hazelgrove, the catcher.
It looked like Hazelgrove. Ball came up on him a little bit. He found it underneath him, picked it up, and dove head first to meet a sliding Simpson. And it looked like he was holding his wrist.
And that's the volunteer people in the purple there from Loma Linda Children's Hospital, taking care of Hazelgrove.
The sportsmanship right there. You can see the Oregon team comes out of the dugout.
Take a look at this. Simpson coming to home plate.
Big hard collision at the plate. I can't tell. I didn't see what happened to Hazelgrove's wrist, but you can see the glove drop off. Ball came out. Looks like his wrist got jammed into Simpson's leg.
Jason Field with a safe call there, and main concern now is with Hazelgrove. Let's hope for the best here in this 6-1 game, bottom of the third.
Well, just an amazing effort. You know you're going to get hit, and he just goes diving in head first, and he was perfect in the fact that he had the ball in his hand and his hand in his glove, and I'm just sitting here looking at the kid going, you know, the guts it takes to dive head first into a a kid that's running hard. You know that the spikes are coming in. They're obviously plastic, but the spikes are coming in. Hey, this is going to hurt, and he didn't think anything about it.
And that's Simpson's effort, too. I mean, just great hustle, just good baseball all the way around there.
Yeah, Simpson reading that ball pops up, and it actually looked like it kind of sat on Hazelgrove's head for a split second, and then it dropped down, but that ball never got more than 3 feet away from home plate.
Well, Simpson has really affected the game with his speed. You think about this, a triple, and he scored on an error, and speed a big reason why he was able to come across, and then that situation right there, coming in from third base.
Yeah, that he might have been the only guy on the field that could have scored, because that, like I said, that baseball was 3 feet away from home plate.
And if not for him legging out things down the first baseline, he's not even on board, beating out the throw at first base. So 6-1 game here, Oregon in front of Washington. Oregon getting 5 runs in the second, and then a run here in the third, and they're taking care of the catcher, Hazelgrove, after that play at home plate.
Both teams have left the field. We still have 2 outs, a 3-2 count.
Looking for training and information for coaches, umpires, league volunteers, and parents. Get free backyard tips, practice plans, drills, videos, and more. Visit littleleagueuniversity.org today. Look at the fans of the Murray Hill Little Leaguers from Beaverton, Oregon. And just to the north of them on I-5, West Seattle Little Leaguers, Pacific Northwest matchup here, and the winner will continue their season. It's an elimination game in the Northwest Regional. Following this one, it's going to be West Regional play, an elimination game between Southern California, the Chula Vista Parkview Little Leaguers, and Northern California from Rockland, the Tri-City Little Leaguers. That'll be a rematch of a game we saw in day 1, a 16-8 Southern California win over Northern California. And Parker Ely looks like he is the new pitcher, so they make a switch here. Ely comes in for Fay.
And then Fay moves out to left field to take Henning's spot.
And they have a new catcher as well. It's Henning for Hazelgrove behind the plate.
We saw Parker Ely last night, and he was one of the 3 pitchers that combined for the 1 hitter versus Alaska.
And Matthew Henning Henning, we saw catching and pitching and swinging it. He's done a little bit of everything.
No, Henning's been the star so far. 2-run home run last night in the first. You know, big pitching outing last night. Now you see him back behind the plate.
Full count to Zane Garvey with 2 down. Bases empty now. Ely coming in with a full count as the 3rd pitcher. Ground ball hit to Sherrick, and that's how you get it done. You come in, you get 1 pitch, and you get out of the inning.
Oh, he makes it look easy. Parker Ely comes in on a 3-2 count, throws a strike. The boys from Oregon are up 6-1 as we move into the 4th.
Oregon and Washington in an elimination game, Northwest Regional, as Oregon put 5 on the board in the second and a single run in the third inning. Well, Matthew Hazelgrove, and that's good to see, up and walking. And let's wish the best for this kid.
Yeah, you never want to see that. I'm sure he going through a lot of pain right now. Just dropped the ice bag and probably going to have to go get that x-rayed.
Courageous play trying to tag out the runner. Simpson there at home plate. The Little League Grow the Game Grant Initiative has distributed over $2 million at the local level. Grant funding provides local Little Leagues resources for general improvement and to expand or establish softball, challenger division, and urban initiative programs. For more info, visit littleleague.org/grow the game. Game recap. Big second inning for Oregon. They put 5 on the board. In the first inning, though, Washington got it started. And here's a hit down the line, the triple for Buring. The error, throwing error, allows him to score. And it was a short-lived 1-0 lead because in the second, 8 come to the plate.
There's Aaron Simpson doing the exact same play. Here he goes running hard, and he'll score on an overthrow. So we saw 2 faux inside the park home runs.
4 walks were costly there as they plate 5, and then they had another run in the third inning.
And then the play of the night. Aaron Simpson, center field, Sports Center highlight, din-in-in.
Covering a lot of ground, and he has done it with his speed on the base pass. He's done it with his speed in the outfield. Having a lot of fun here at Houghton Stadium.
Well, I'd be having a lot of fun too if I just did that. You know you're on ESPN, and you get the opportunity to lay out in center field, and you make the play, and he comes up and he's like, I've been dreaming about this, and I just pulled it off.
Well, all right. Look, you also have a triple. You scored a couple runs.
Stolen base. A couple of great reads on the bases.
And here's Matthew Henning, who is now catching, leading off for the West Seattle Little Leaguers.
It's like they brought their own chairs with the backing, padded backing.
Well, Simpson just really sold out there to get to that baseball in the left center field gap.
Well, then on the other side of it, Robbie Foisey for Seattle, not quite as good, nothing personal, but a really nice play in center field. So we've seen some great center field play. The shortstop play here in San Bernardino has been phenomenal. And then here comes Hen Dog. Done a little bit of it, played center field a little bit last night, pitched almost 4 innings, played left field, started in left field today, and now he's taken Matthew Hazelgrove's place behind the plate.
Whatever they call on him to do, he does it. Off-speed pitch from Garvey here, ball 1.
Big overhand curveball. Borderline caught the top of the zone. Didn't get the call, just missed with it a little bit up, and then comes back with a perfect fastball down and away.
Henning, a big Washington Nationals fan. Likes Adam Sandler, the actor. He's been in some good ones.
You watch behind home plate, Kellen Woods working hard. I love it too. Watch him here. He's going to call the pitch. 3 fingers, might be a changeup. Moving over to the side of the outside corner.
That's lifted down the right field line. Playable, and making it is Hicks near the line, 1 down.
So having now watched that pitch, looks like 3 is a fastball away. Zane Garvey throws the ball right on the outside corner. Matthew Henning just couldn't do much with it.
Now Caden Fay. He mentioned he likes those Mission Impossible movies, and Tom Cruise hits it in the air to center field. Simpson can't get there. Shortstop going out. Gustafson can't as well, though he made a great effort, and that's a single for Fay.
Gunnar Gustafson almost ran this ball down. Outfield's deep, respecting the power of Caden Fay. Good pitch, outside corner. He got it off the end of the bat. Now watch the shortstop turn and run, and you become an outfielder. So he drop steps perfectly, and he just takes off running, trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. Outfield is deep, drops in between everybody.
And it's pinch hitter time. Simon Vance comes in to hit for Bobby Trigg in the fifth spot in the order with 1 out and 1 on. 6-1 game, Washington some work to do. This is a team, remember, that scored 11 runs in the victory over Alaska last night.
Simon Vance has had a nice tournament. He's 1 for 2. He's walked once, scored 3 runs.
Takes a strike. Favorite band, Kodak Black. But what really stands off out here from his bio, Ozzie Smith, his favorite baseball player. Talk about shortstops.
Wow. Fastball on the inside corner. I was talking about Kellen Wood, the catcher behind the plate. And I love the fact that this young age, he is working hard. He's moving positions. So if that's a 3, he's probably going to move outside corner. See him move out there. Oh, big curveball.
Froze him. Vance strikes out.
Big curveball by Zane Garvey. See it, big top spin. Kellen Wood does a nice job of bringing it down a little bit, giving home plate umpire a good view, Jason Field.
And Eli Palmer is going to be the pinch hitter here for Foisey.
Well, Eli Palmer is 2 for 2. How about that coming off the bench?
Yeah, you know, we've stressed it many times. You've got to be ready to play, mandatory play in Little League Baseball. You get called your number, usually in a pretty key situation, and sometimes it's with runners on base, and here's the case here.
Just missed on the outside corner. But back more, more to what you were saying, Washington got beat Sunday 16-6 by Montana. And they had a 6-run inning.
It's popped up, and an easy play for Gustafson, and that will retire the side. Both teams looking for some offense. Oregon has 6 on the board already as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Northwest Regional play at Al Houghton Stadium. Each team with 3 hits, but Oregon has a 6-1 lead bottom half of the 4th at Houghton Stadium. You want to play Little League in your local community? Visit playlittleleague.org, enter your address, and find a Little League program near you. Kids of all ages here at the ballpark. And this has been a game where we have seen some stellar defense played. Center fielders have been in the spotlight. And that 5-run second inning might be enough for Oregon. They have jumped out to this lead here in Washington, hoping their bats can wake up like they did last night.
Well, Oregon, you remember, scored 11 runs against Wyoming in the 4th inning, so they've broken games open in the past. And Seattle has done the exact same thing where they've had a couple big innings. I was talking last inning how their backups were the ones that got the 6-run rally started on Sunday for them.
Ben Carlton pinch hitting for Carson Reig to open up this bottom half of the 4th. There's a baseball fan right there.
Ben Carlton is 1 for 3 this tournament, scored 2 runs. I think she's trying to find that slushy.
There's an opposite field single, finds a hole. The throw from the right fielder late. Carlton is on.
Nice piece of hitting, fastball down, a little bit away. Gets the bat down there. It's a pretty good ground ball through the hole. Look at the diving attempt by Joe Sherrick. And the fun thing about Little League Baseball is he hits the ground ball through the hole. The right fielder, Tristan Buehring's got a great arm. He comes in hard, and Ben Carlton can't enjoy the single for one step. He's got to bust it all the way through because it's a bang-bang play from right field.
Yeah, there's no cruising down the line. You've got to turn on the accelerator.
We've already seen one 9-6 force out at second base on a ball in front.
That's the first 9-6. I know I've seen a 9-6 at some point, but I can't remember.
No, I mean, every once in a while you'll see a 9-3 in Little League. In the National League, if you get a slow pitcher running down the line, you might get a 9-3, but not very often.
Here's JB, Johnny Berrigan, first pitch. Grounder to Glover, flips to second for one, on to first. Double play.
That's another Sports Center highlight. This middle infield of Seattle has been awesome. What a play. Wyatt Glover goes to his right, ground ball in the hole, goes down to a knee, backhand, throws it to Sherrick at second. I think he might have got him at first base. Another highlight.
Look at the turn here.
They're not going to review it, so that's going to stand. I mean, how many highlights are we going to have here today?
This has been a defensive gem so far. Elam Young now. I don't know, Fox to Aparicio there. You can't do that much better.
You really can't.
Aparicio to Fox, I should say. Shortstop to second.
But it can go both ways.
Pulled and into right field and a base hit, and that makes that play that much bigger as Young is on.
Young's been on twice. Just got his first hit in San Bernardino right there. He's been on a bunch, got a couple walks. That's the second hit, excuse me.
Now Kellen Wood. Oregon has been putting the bat on the ball. 5 hits. Throw down to first, gets away, and Young's going to stay put.
Nice backup by Tristan Buehring out in right field. Henning trying to make sure Wood is keeping it close at first base. You don't want to get an extended lead.
You got excited on that double play ball. I know, being a former pitcher, there's not many things that are as exciting as that.
No, because you're, initially off the bat, you're going, is that going to get through the hole into left field? Shortstop, Wyatt Glover goes down on the knee, backhand, spins on his knees.
I mean, that's like Christmas in August for you, watching that. I saw it develop before my eyes right there.
If I'm standing on the mound, I'm literally like, oh, no way. No, I got a double play. I'm screaming out there.
(2-1) on the corner, 2-2.
Parker Ely with a nice 2-1 curveball. And we've seen a lot of that here in San Bernardino, where these 11, 12, 13-year-olds are able to throw off-speed pitches for strikes behind in the count.
Hit down the right field line, out of play. Good hustle from Gastolo, the first baseman over there. The office, good one.
That one's a little bit tougher to binge watch. Figure, what, 9 or 10 years. I can't put that one all together in one 24-hour sitting.
You can just have a casual viewing experience there. That's hit hard on the ground to the first baseman, Gastolo to the bag. Excellent defense from West Seattle Little League. Still a 5-run game. 5th inning's coming up. Oregon leading Washington with the season on the line. Washington and Oregon both with 1 win and 1 loss in this Northwest Regional. Season on the line here and a 5-run game. Well, we told you the importance of this one. The winner will advance to play Friday, 3 Eastern time, 12 Pacific. Already Beaverton, Oregon, a winner over Seattle, Washington, or our leader over Seattle, Washington here, top of the 5th. But you got Coeur d'Alene, a team really swinging hot bats with Montana, their opponent, Thursday at 3 Eastern time. ESPN broadcasting those 2 games after our ESPN Plus game here, Northwest Regional.
Jake Daly is coming to the plate. And he's 1 for 4 for San Bernardino, but that one being a big hit, 2-run home run last night. Not a bad guy to start, not a bad guy coming off the bench for you, and also leading off the inning when you're chasing 5 runs.
Daly hitting in the 7th spot in the order.
He comes in to face Zane Garvey, who's been extremely efficient in 4 innings of work. That was his 50th pitch. He's done a really nice job of throwing the ball outside corner. That one right there. I've spoken very highly of Kellen Wood behind the plate, how he's moving to the outside corner, giving Zane Garvey, the pitcher, a good target to throw at. Me as a pitcher, I didn't like when my catcher set up in the middle because I didn't have a target where I wanted to throw the ball.
High chop to the third baseman, Ingalls, across in time.
And Zane Garvey, 52 pitches. He saw that big overhand 12-6 curveball. Really tough to not hit right down into the dirt. One hop ground ball. Ingles makes it look easy.
And there haven't been a lot of easy plays at third base. Some hard hit balls over there throughout this regional. Here's Parker Ely now.
Parker Ely with a double in San Bernardino here. He's 1 for 3. A couple of runs scored. Also took part in the one-hitter last night.
Son of the assistant coach on this squad, Sean Ely.
And he's got a very unique superstition. Avoids saying rain.
High skied ball to center field, and routine play for Simpson. 2 down.
Yeah, that ball was hit so high, might have brought in some rain.
Might have drawn some rain. You know, a little bit tricky maybe. There's been a breeze here. Steadier earlier in the game. Still going from right field to left field. A little bit.
A little bit. Got Blake Taft coming up to plate. And how about this guy coming off the bench? 3 for 4 this tournament. 2 RBI. And that's been the story for Seattle, is the guys on their bench are doing it as well as the guys on the field.
Well, and you know, sometimes you can watch something out there, watch a pitcher and get a read on him, and it gives you a chance to sit back and analyze and take advantage of it, and they've done a good job of that.
Yeah, but what you just said doesn't always happen. You know, if you're not paying attention to what the pitcher's doing, you're going to get your opportunity, and then you're going to get surprised by that big curveball that Garvey's been throwing. These guys are sitting on the bench, engaged in the game, you know, being fans of the guys that are out there. Then when they get their shot, they take advantage of it.
Garvey with pitch number 57 outside. Only run scored in the first inning. Change up, popped up, foul ground. Out of play.
Oh man, my heart just dropped. I saw Carson Reed come running in, and that ball was close to the dugout, and they have the dugouts fenced off, and it looked like he was looking up at the ball, not looking at the corner of the fence right there that you see in all yellow. And just for a split second, I was just anticipating a collision that wasn't going to end very well.
Thought for a moment he might try to reach over that fence and snare it. Taft, a hard hit ball off the glove of Ingles, knocks it down, can't make a throw. Good job keeping it on the infield, but that was a good swing for Taft.
So you got a guy sitting on your bench that is 4 for 5. Have a tournament, kid. That's awesome. And you know, you got to tip your cap to Alex Ingles. He's playing deep. Ball in the 56 hole between short and third base. He dives, lays out, just wasn't able to secure the ball.
Tristan Puring, first pitch, chopper, second baseman to the bag, unassisted. Neely ends the inning. Single, one runner stranded through 4.5. It'll be Gustafson, Ingles, and Simpson coming up for Oregon. They lead it by 5 runs. The Murray Hill Little Leaguers in front of the team from West Seattle Little League, 6-1, bottom of the fifth. Northwest Regional elimination game here at Houghton Stadium. Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport, scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit littleleague.org or follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS. We've been keeping up to speed on what's been happening in this regional.
Yeah, and there's my slushy right now. Oh, those things are awesome. Great food venue. We got funnel cakes. We got root beer floats. And the slushy.
A lot of love out there for the kids, and they're enjoying what they're seeing here. And I think they appreciate the defense as well as we do.
No, I love the defense. This has been awesome. Another great play at second base to end the inning that we didn't even get a chance to talk about.
Gunnar Gustafson leading things off against Parker Ely. Already has an RBI.
Parker Ely working the outside corner, jumping ahead. Gunnar Gustafson is leading the Oregon boys in RBI with 4.
Hammered down the left field line. Gustafson wants a couple. He's got 2, a double to lead off the inning.
Fay out in left field, getting it in quickly to Wyatt Glover at short, and just too much speed from Gunnar Gustafson. Nice base hit, it hit very hard.
We're looking for some insurance here. Up 5. And we've got the cleanup hitter, Alex Ingalls, checking in.
Now, I'm playing the game, all right? I am down, I'm up 6-1, or actually if I'm in Seattle shoes, I'm down 6-1. That run out there is a big run. This guy's already got 3 RBI and is scorching hot, 4 for 8. So far in San Bernardino, I'm thinking about putting him on the open base and getting to somebody else, because this guy's been taking care of business.
There's Mom. Second baseman bobbles it. Sherrick, and runners are safe on the corners.
Mom liked that one.
I'm going to call that an error on the second baseman, Sherrick, but he was aggressive early in the count.
No, that's a tough error. Ingalls hits this ball. Now, the temperatures here have been up to 108. Trey Bender, my partner, is the only one that was happy about that. But this infield gets baked in the hot sun. That ball Ingalls hit right in front of home plate. Big hop, and Sherrick at second base wasn't able to get the little short hop in front of him and pick it clean.
Now Aaron Ray Simpson that's a foul ball. It looked like it might have been in fair play, and the catcher Henning did a good job snaring it right away.
Yeah, I might review this one right now. Matthew Henning plays this perfectly. Sees the ball chop off a home plate or right behind home plate. If this ball is on top of home plate at any part of it, it's a fair ball.
Oh, 1 pitch. Outside, throw down a second. Runner doesn't go, and Ely had to duck out of the way of that one right there.
Parker Ely gives the chest tap like, my bad. That was a first and third play that Seattle had put on, and it was throw it quickly back to Parker Ely. Well, Parker saw the suicide squeeze show at home plate, so he throws the pitch and he's busting in. And Simpson pulled back, and Henning fires a dart. And Parker Ely is literally about 20 feet away from him. And I don't know how he got down to duck underneath it.
That's some athleticism. Good job backing up the play by the middle infielders there.
That was what they were trying to do last time, but Ely was much closer to Henning. So that's the Seattle defense to the first and third plays to get it quickly back in a really good athlete's hands in Parker Ely.
2-1 to Simpson. Up the middle, second baseman Sherrick to the bag for the forced play, and a run does score as They extend the lead to 7-1. Gustafson touching home plate.
Aaron Simpson moves out of the leadoff hole, goes into the 5-hole, and really been swinging it well. This ball, Joe Sherrick does an amazing job because it hits in front of home plate again in the dirt, and the second bounce is always a skid, you know, so when it hits something hard like you're on the concrete, ball bounces once, bounces twice, and then on the second bounce, it's going to skid or shoot forward a little bit. And Sherrick was able to snag that. That was a tough hop.
There's Ryan Boggs with his second at bat with 1 out and 1 on. Likes the song "We Will Rock You," I would imagine.
Not necessarily. I mean,
It's his favorite band. I mean,
yeah,
you gotta like
right.
that one.
I do love the fact that he's into Queen. Not a bad band through the 70s, 80s.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Made famous by Wayne's World.
Boggs straight back, fouling that one off. They're up 6 now. And looking ahead, they're the home team. The 6th inning, 6 innings regulation Little League. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters scheduled up top half of the 6th for Washington.
Parker Ely just missing down in the zone. Ryan Boggs, really good eye. Spoke about how many times he's been on base via hit by pitch.
Strike called.
He's already been on base here today with a walk, scored a run.
Chased one inside and he strikes out Boggs.
Comes the pitch. Looks like a changeup that sinks down and in. Really hard to lay off. It's going right through the hitting zone. It's just coming at a much slower pace than the fastballs he's been seeing.
And now Alex Stinson will have his second at bat.
Both these teams have very good benches. We're seeing Stinson, who's a substitute in this game, coming back into hit. I spoke about the Seattle team's bench and their ability to get on base. The Oregon team is no different. You're watching a mound conversation. Pistola laughing about something. I'm sure there's some sort of story going on about
pizza, burgers. What are we going to do later?
Now, you know, who knows? You know, they had that big win last night. They probably had a little pool time. They were probably laughing about somebody did something. He's still got a little smirk on his face. It must have been a pretty good story.
It had to be a good one.
Anything and to relieve the stress of the situation, just, you know, a funny joke. You know, some of the catchers walking out and telling me things and just making me smile and smirk.
It's going to be Zane Garvey batting, not Stinson, in this 7th spot in the order.
And I mean, the mound conversation wasn't serious enough that they had to cover their mouths with the gloves, you know, in case there's a lip reader on the Oregon squad.
Right. Grilled cheese, his go-to food item as he swings and misses.
And Parker Ely flashing that good curveball down in the zone.
Garvey trying to help his cause here. The 1-1, waits on it, fouls it back.
Another good curveball, good swing as well by Stinson.
Oregon has out-hit Washington 6-4 in this one. The big inning, the second. They put 5 on the board. Fouled off the end of the bat there. That kind of an inside-out swing that time.
Well, he had seen 2 curveballs about 48 miles an hour, And he was starting to catch up to that speed. So then as a pitcher, you come back and you throw something 10 miles an hour faster at 59. And Stinson does a great job just to get a piece of it and stay alive. That was a pretty close pitch to take.
Ely.
Looks like he might be going to the curveball grip. What do you think, Trey?
I'm with you. There it is.
Left it a little bit up. And see, he sets the ball behind his back in his hand and then shifts it back there.
Quick mound visit by Henning with this full count.
That was a little motivational speech by your team leader, Matthew Henning. All right, hey, this is a big out right here. I need you to throw me a good strike. What do you want to throw? Might have been the question.
Three-two, fastball, got him. Strikes out Garvey. We're through 5, 7-1 Oregon. Chance for the kids from Murray Hill Little League to win it here. Gastola scheduled up next for Washington. The Twins sharing an icy here at Houghton Stadium on a hot day with Oregon leading Washington 7-1, top of the 6th inning.
I guess they are sharing because the one on the left's got it all over her face as well. We saw the one on the right digging the spoon out.
Gotta go to the water here.
You know what, to be honest with you, I'm just going straight to the mouth. I'm not even using the spoon.
Fantastic. Kids are having a great time at the ballpark here. Northwest Region play.
I don't think the one on the left likes it, or else she's eating a little bit healthier than.
That's a Murray Hill Little League group over there, and they like what they've seen here. Oregon leading 7-1, double elimination format, season on the line, and Miles Gastola leading things off against Zane Garvey, who's trying to go the distance as we move into the 6th inning. Chance to close it out. A lot of big things have happened on this day. Of course, this is the time of year where these kids make an impact in the Northwest and West regionals. But when we turn back the clock way back to this day, August 8th, 1990, there was a gentleman that picked up a save against the Oakland A's to set the Orioles' single season record in that category. That's my broadcast partner here, Greg Olson.
Wow, thank you. I didn't realize it was the anniversary.
And I, of course, did all the research up here by myself. I'm not going to give any credit to our producer, Olivia Stomsky, Brian Nettles, the director, any of the people down the truck.
They had nothing to do with it.
It was just pretty much right here. I'm joking, of course. They did a great job researching that date in history.
Yeah, probably had the pleasure of facing the Bash brothers, Canseco, McGuire, while they were in their prime. Gastola was the benefactor of the robbery out in the center field by Simpson. And that ball was so crushed, he got just, it was, you know, he didn't deserve that, but sometimes baseball's just not fair.
Simpson, who has put his imprint on this game offensively and defensively in center field. Oregon trying to close it out here with Garvey, pitch number 65, fouled off.
That looked like a 3-1 breaking ball. I mean, I've talked about it quite a bit. They got a 6-run lead. You know, you don't want to walk anybody. You don't want to go out there and say, hey, don't throw this pitch, don't walk anybody, get ahead. But, you know, throwing a 3-1 breaking ball with a big lead.
And there's a solid single by Gostola off the right fielder Hicks. He's headed to second and in there.
Gostola's last 2 at-bats have been just smoked. That ball was crushed to right field. Kellen Hicks starts in. Fastball middle of the plate. Great swing, young man. Line drive to right. Ball's hit so hard. Hicks initially comes in thinking he's going to get another SportsCenter highlight play for his squad. Starts to dive and realizes.
And Henning steps into that pitch and launches it over the center field fence. 7-3.
Matthew Henning with his second home run, and he is trying to fire up these boys. They're down to 3 outs left in their season. Breaking ball. Up in the zone. Henning not sure if he got enough of it, running hard through first base. This Seattle bunch has really been fun to watch. You know, these guys have played together for a while. They got, you know, a good crowd came with them. They even got cheer cards.
Yep, they've orchestrated some things there to support their kids. Estomaza trying to cheer on Garvey here, 67 pitches, still up by 4.
And that's exactly what the speech was. All right, hey, so what? Who cares? We're still up 4. Go get me my first out right here. Let's get in the dugout. Let's win this game. Finish it.
Caden Fay, the batter.
And what's been, you know, if Oregon moves on, what Zane Garvey's doing right now, and he has just went over the 66 pitch mark, so he will not be able to come back for 4 days, so he's done for this tournament.
Gets the ground ball he wants right there as Neely throws out Fay. 1 down.
But Oregon is without 3 of their pitchers. So this is a big outing right now. There are 3 people on this field that are ineligible to pitch. So what Zane Garvey's doing for this team by staying out there and battling through everything has been amazing.
Taking the deep breath. He senses the moment. Bobby Trigg, the batter. Adrenaline rush right now. He's right on the doorstep.
Yeah, you're sensing the end. The fans are starting to get into it a little bit.
Gets another ground ball. Neely, the throw. Got him.
Christian Neely, I've spoken about the Seattle middle infield, but this middle infield's been almost as good today. Christian Neely goes hard to his right, stays down, struggled a bit to get the ball out of his glove, but made a snap throw and just in time.
Washington down to their final out here in the top of the 6th inning. Pitches by inning, pretty consistent.
Oh, that is perfect. Struggled a little bit in the first, and then just settled into a groove. 10, 11 pitches every inning. I can't tell you how good that is, especially if I'm Oregon, knowing I got 3 guys that are not eligible to pitch.
Eli Palmer, the batter, with 2 down, trying to keep the West Seattle Little League hopes alive here. First pitch, liner to center. Simpson's got it, and Oregon wins.
Garvey wants that baseball. You can see he asked for the ball from Simpson, and I would too. A complete game. 6-hitter, Zane Garvey. Great job.
And Simpson provided the speed on offense and defense. Getting a triple, scoring a couple runs. Well-rounded team, and they got off to a quick start and set the tone in this one.
Yeah, they jumped up with a 5 spot in the second. And it's been a total team thing for the Oregon team. I mean, you get started, Simpson had a great game, an unbelievable catch. Zane Garvey was awesome on the mound. Your middle of your lineup, Gunnar Gustafson, a couple hits. It was just an overall team effort.
Congratulations to Washington, the state champions from West Seattle Little League, but the Beaverton Murray Hill Little Leaguers advance with a victory. Our next game coming up, West Region play, an elimination game, Southern California and Northern California, 7 Pacific time. Big win for Beaverton. Thanks to Greg Olson, I'm Trey Bender saying so long from San Bernardino. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Another game to come. Stay with us at Houghton Stadium.